And welcome back to the Smoke Break. I am your host, your old pal Zay, here with Taylor Barrett.
Greetings.
Zoe Schwartz.
Hello.
And Zachary Clark.
Hi.
I'm going to do a real quick disclaimer, which is just to say that this is for entertainment purposes only. We work in the field of mental health, but do not claim to be professionals in this space. And our intention is to have conversations around live experience. As a result, we may not always agree with what our guests say, but we do intend to hold space for open conversations and learning from one another. Zachary Clark, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was a good disclaimer.
Yeah,
You guys have really honed that over a long time.
You're gonna get to the teleprompter shit. You could host the Grammys at this point.
Thank you.
This is a little different every time, though. You put your own little spice on it.
Yeah. I usually slur through it. This episode we're actually going to be talking about individualism and balance. But right now, individualism. What made you gravitate towards that?
I feel like, well, before we go that, I want to just point out to the viewers, I thought I was going to get fucking killed when I got in here. Yeah, one of the producers
The outside looks weird.
Yeah, the outside does look weird. Like, this is like a hippie commune that we're doing this at. It was pretty sick. And
then you get inside, there's actually technology, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, you get inside, and then there's just all drywall out there, and there's no door, and then...
It doesn't look less murdery the more you get in there.
No, every single step of the way, I'm like, somehow this is even more disturbing than before. But
You're like, they're either going to ask me to join their co-op or kill me.
yeah, exactly. Or I guess it's up to me.
That's the
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah. I mean, and those are the two options.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. I got
No secret third options.
yeah, they told me I owe tithe to the church now. So. It's good, but individualism, I was just thinking about it, do stand-up comedy. It's like one of the most individual art forms. You're just up there by your own damn self with a microphone and a stool and maybe props if you're into that kind of thing. But typically, I mean, you're all by yourself regardless.
Yeah.
Might not really ever anything with people up there. I don't know. I was just thinking about, my own life and how I grew up too, and just like very much like, very like American, upbringing, like 2.5 parents, heterosexual parents, married, 2.5 kids and a dog type shit.
Yeah.
And at least now my parents, they're like woke now, but like when I was a kid, they were not. Like, I grew up in Florida, so like you could be woke in Florida, like that was an option.
But it wasn't like Portland woke.
No, God, no. Whenever
That's the default.
dude, it was not Portland woke. But you know what? I can tell you, people who are woke in the South are cooler than every person who's woke in Portland.
Yeah,
Like, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, because you're from Iowa, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's similar. Like, if you're woke here, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you're woke in the South,
You're an
you're like,
individual.
Yeah. You're an
if
individual.
if you're woke somewhere else, it's like, oh, you're actually like taking a stand for
Yeah.
something right
Yeah.
now.
Here
You
it's
are
like, oh, you're a
rebelling.
pushover.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah. No, it's
You're just nice because everyone else is nice.
yeah.
And you're so nice, it's annoying.
Exactly. You're just fitting in.
Yeah.
You're just a follower.
Yeah.
If you're
Not
if
being
you're-
an individual. I like the I don't know, I guess the idea that you were bringing around individualism, just like, especially in comedy, where it is you going up there by yourself, and oftentimes it's you going out by yourself every night. I luckily have a support group of people that like I can, when I go to mics, I'm not going by myself, but like there are often times when I was just like, all right, I'm taking a bus, I'm riding it by myself to go do comedy, stand up there by myself. And
Absolutely.
And it's what do you think keeps you motivated when it is just you pushing you?
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like I've always been I just like doing it. I guess like comedy itself. I feel like I'm hooked at this point. I did it like one time, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably not going to stop doing this for a good while.
Yeah.
And just wanting to be as good as possible. And my favorite part of like doing comedy is when you have a new joke that starts to work. That's always like absolutely awesome, I guess. And so you're just chasing that dragon all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go out, I have something like, oh, this is going to crush for sure. I'm like, I got to go to some like dive bar where everyone's hammered. Tell it to like some of the biggest losers I could ever see in my life. And that was the comedians I'm talking about, not the bar patrons. They don't deserve that kind of slander.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some old guy eating chicken strips and drinking a beer. He's fine. He's supposed to be there.
He's supposed to be there. We aren't supposed to be there. It's like
We're out of our element.
yeah, I love
We're
like
in their space, yeah.
oh
Why are
yeah,
you here. You're like, I don't know, I'm sorry.
yeah. We're ruining their night.
Yeah, a
like
lot of the time, yeah.
someone brought up Arrowwood the other day.
Oh, wow.
What about that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, rest in peace, Arrowwood open mic. And that was one. He's like, yeah, it was the first place I ever did comedy. And we were all like, oh man, I miss Arrowwood. And he's like, yeah, wasn't it like a good place? And we're like, no, it was, it was a terrible place for comedy.
You go there just to bomb, just because it's close to your house. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
close to my house.
That's the Thunderdome for comedy.
Yeah.
Like you have to. That's your trial by fire.
Oh, I mean, there are worse
There's worse,
Thunderdomes
yeah,
for
there's
sure.
worse, yeah.
But the whole thing with that one is it's like comedy against their will.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like one of the times I went and, Brent was like, hey guys, we're going to comedy start like in 10 minutes. And every single table started waving the waiter over to pay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like all of them at once were like, they're like begging.
Yeah.
Like you can see the fear in their
Get me
eyes.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That is, wow. Goddamn.
Yeah.
That's-
Shout out stand up comedy.
Shout out stand-up comedy. What about you, Zoe? How do you kind of motivate yourself when you're the one who has to do that?
I don't. I stay home a lot these days.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I mean, I know. I mean, I actually, with the thing you were talking about, like about going out on your own, I feel like that was like good for me because like when you're busy or I don't know, I just feel like you can get a lot of social interaction from like I could go out any night of the week and see like 30 people I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say hi, have fun, have a drink, whatever, and then leave. And it's like I don't have to plan any, you know what I mean? Like you can get a lot of social whatever interaction for like a lot for your bang for your buck in that way. And I think that way it's like you don't really have to be like, oh, what's everybody doing? I can just go do that. And then kind of makes you like default social life, which is good and bad. But yeah, so I like that aspect of it, that it is individual, but it's like a really good way to connect
Yeah, it
with
can
others.
be social too. Yeah.
But it's like less commitment. You can just pop in and be like, hey, and then just not say bye to anybody. Nobody cares. You'll see them tomorrow or a week next week or whatever, So I like that part of it. And it kind of forced me to be more independent. Like, oh, I can go do that by myself because I won't be alone the whole time. I'll be alone like in the car on the way there, and then I can.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good way of thinking.
It can be
about
draining, but I like that about it.
it. Okay. Taylor,
Yeah.
what about you? How do you motivate you?
Well, I'm curious first. Like, how would you define individualism?
I guess I was thinking about it more in like, I don't know, like the American sense where it's like all about me all the time. Like Americans
I
are
hear
very
you.
much not only like self-motivated, but like, especially like everyone I knew like growing up was very much like you live or die on your own 2 feet pretty much. And like I said, now my family, they're kind of like woke as hell. But like, I know the individualism, they already imprinted that onto me.
Right.
And I feel like, I'm the oldest sibling. You guys are you all older siblings or younger
I'm the
siblings?
oldest sibling by 11 years, and it's a fucking trip.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
You're the baby. My
We can
parents, my parents, they're like softer or nicer to like my sister than they were to me for sure, my younger sister. And now they're like, oh yeah, we take care of everybody, you have to take care of people. But I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that was not the impression that I received.
It's weird being the guinea pig.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you guys were dicks when you had me. I softened you guys up.
No, they were like very much like, yeah, you are like out of the nest, like you could die on your own. And like that's how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah, you either live or you die. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
feel like that's kind of just gets like imprinted into us is at like a very young age the idea that like once you're out of the nest, then the world's going to kill you. So you might as well. So they like, as you're growing up, there's like just this constant like reminder that like, okay, well, you have to be able to do it on your own. It's cool that you did it with me, but you have to be able to do it on your own. You have to be able to do it on your own. And it's like that constant reinforcement of that idea that like doing things as a group or as a team doesn't have the same value as having done it all on your own.
oh yeah, absolutely. It's very much like if you ask for help, you are a pussy, like for sure. Like even like in the most basic sense, and things like like you don't know and you shouldn't know necessarily. It's like you start like stand up comedy, you don't know how to do it, but it'd be like you ask someone and they're like, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
You just go up there and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
don't talk to me
yeah.
about it. So
I struggle, so you should have to also.
Yeah.
yeah. So
I think about like with like how you're talking about your family, and I was thinking about how families like just the idea like of like we don't live like intergenerationally anymore. I feel like a lot of people do in like the rest of the other parts of the world and like did for a long time. Humans are like, we're community oriented. So I feel like it's like we're supposed to do things together. And there's certain shit that's like really fucking hard if you don't have help. And then I think we all feel bad about ourselves when we can't do the thing that we weren't really designed to do on our own. And then we blame ourselves and it's just like a vicious cycle. But I think parenting specifically, like parents are like so stressed out and I can't do all this stuff. It's like, yeah, because you're supposed to have like all these other people like helping. You're supposed to be living in a community where you like fill in for each other. And like people don't do that anymore. And then I think they're like, why am I so burnt out? Why am I not a good parent? It's like, because it's a fucking big ass job. and we're supposed to have help. So I think there's a lot of things with individualism. I think a lot of things like that and it's all about like capitalism, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. And like, I don't know about, you all, my family, they didn't live near like extended family, like really at all. Like my grandmother lived nearby, but like I have a large extended family and like, no, they were like nowhere close at all. So yeah, you have no help or assistance from other people. And yeah, I mean, and that, gets imprinted on you as well. And so now it's like, I feel like doing comedy, it is, and just like life in general, I'm like, yeah, I got to do it all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've benefited from that that idea?
Absolutely. I won't lie. I feel like the way that the individualism was like imprinted on me, like very much like my family's very like achievement oriented, and work very hard. Like that's all my parents did. They just went to work and came home and waited for the next day, basically. And now they're like, oh man, I can't wait to retire. And they were talking about it, like they visited me here, and I'm like, what are you guys gonna do? And they were like, I never thought about it. And I'm like, well, you won't shut the fuck up about it. So maybe you want to have a plan for what you're gonna do when you're done.
Yeah, they never thought about it. I feel like everybody was fantasizing about retiring.
Yeah, well, they're like actively fantasizing about it, but they're like, yeah, that's like, they're like, oh, I can taste it, and they're like, oh, what are you gonna like? Yeah, no thoughts at what happens when that,
go on a cruise
occurs.
when you're doing.
Yeah, but
I think to circle back around to like how I experience individualism, like I think with everything that's been said, my like the first thing that came to mind was the fighting game community. I'm super into fighting games. I trash at Mortal Kombat, but just about every single other one I have spent a lot of time on, and that kind of blends this unique part of like there's a deep level of individualism. It's a lot of like spending time in the lab, just grinding, figuring out your own stuff. But there's also this huge world of people that are also in the fighting game community that are developing new stuff constantly. They're constantly learning new things, constantly trying to help new players get better at stuff. And so it kind of blends this weird, spend a lot of time on your own, make sure that you're as good as you want to be, but you can learn so much from other people. And there's a really social aspect of it too. When you go to tournaments, there's 50 other people that are gonna kick your ass and then shake your hand afterwards. And like, there's always a couple bad apples. I've definitely ran into some people where I'm like, why are you here? Like, I don't get why you're doing this. But like, I think the fighting game community like really stands out to me, at least as far as like how I learned to experience that level of individualism and growth on my own while implementing it into like a social aspect, like you said, where like you have something to look forward to. You have a place where you can go where you're going to get your social fulfillment, but it also comes from a level of individualism too, where you don't have to like overcommit to interacting with everybody all the time, but you can,
Yeah. And with like, Zoe talking about like you just show up at like an open mic and everybody there. But the longer you do comedy, the less that becomes true because, when you start out, you're new. No one who's good at comedy wants to talk to you really. So you're just talking with all the other people who's like your class, as they say. And you see them at every open mic. And then, you all start to know how to do stand-up, so you need to do less open mics, and then you start getting booked on shows and that sort of thing. People quit or they take a break or whatever, and then sometimes you show up to an open mic and you're like, where the hell is everybody?
Yeah. That's kind of the thing that keeps happening to me, and that why I want to be around more is just because it's like I think we have this tendency to be like, yeah, they're gonna be around forever, everyone's gonna be around forever, and that is not the fucking case. So.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna all be around forever.
That's funny. When I first started, I had a couple girls be like, "Oh, you're funny. You're like want to make friends with me." That like had been doing it longer, and I didn't really know anybody. And I was like, "Why are they like so excited to make friends with me?" Or like then there were people that be like hesitant, and they were like, "Are you going to stick around?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Well, we make friends with people," and then they just stop. And then I'm like, and it's interesting. Like they're like want me to do it, but they're also like, are you going to stay?
Yeah.
Like abandonment
people.
issues.
It's abandonment issues. It for real is. It's
I
just
picked
like
up on it.
I can't get attached if you're going to be gone.
Yeah.
I had a few times where I was at an open mic and someone's like brand new and they're like, oh yeah, it's like one of my first like 5 open mics, and they're trying to like really chum it up. And the whole time I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Like, I'm like, you've done it less than 5 times. I don't know if you're going to be here next week.
Yeah, you're like, quit wasting my time. I'll see you once I've seen you like 10 times.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
No, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, that individualism in open mic comedy is alive and well. But I feel like the social aspect of it's also extremely important. And I think in an individualistic society, the more times that we can find social aspects to things, the more often that we're going to find more reward in that. So cool. We're gonna Go.
Oh, sorry.
Please,
With
no,
the-
wrap it up.
Yeah, with the I don't know, like it is very social comedy. You're by yourself, but also is like this interesting thing where people are not only your friends and your peers, but also your competition at the same time.
Yep.
And there's a lot of weird social dynamics, and I feel like the social part is oftentimes like the best part, but oftentimes it's also the worst
Yeah,
part.
it's also
Yeah,
the worst.
absolutely. Like, and it's funny because the parts about the social aspects of stand-up comedy that I hate are probably the exact same ones that you two hate. And you talk to anybody else, and it'll be like comics will come from out of town, and it's like this. It's the same everywhere. Everyone hates the exact same thing.
You would think we would all get together and stop doing that thing.
No, but you know what? It'll never stop. Yeah, humans are terrible. So.
And they can't change, and that's why you should watch this podcast. We will be right back after this break. And welcome back to the Smoke Break. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Taylor Barrett,
What the fuck is up?
Zoe Schwartz,
Yo.
and Zachary Clark.
Hi again.
All right. So for this final section, we're going to talk about balance. Something that I noticed kind of came up in the last conversation naturally was just the idea of like there being an individual, like to yourself aspect and a social aspect.
Mhm.
And I think that there is benefit to having both of them. I'm somebody who now that I live alone spends a lot of time by myself. And I thought that I loved that. And
Mm-hmm.
it is. It is a
never
little
wanna
bit
leave
of a
my
trap. It's a little bit of a trap because there is a certain amount of time that I can spend by myself that feels healthy, that feels good. Then there's a certain amount of like time that's social that feels good. And then there's also a bad amount of both of those things. Because I've definitely hung out for too long and been like, oh, I'm zapped. I need to go. And I've definitely like stayed home for too long and been like, I'm fucking weird. I need to go. So how do you guys, how do you feel like you strike balance in your life?
Poorly, personally. Yeah.
Poorly, and
Horrendously.
horrendously. Wow, that's good. That's good. Good numbers.
Yeah.
Get 'em up. We can
we're
get 'em up.
killing it, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
We're really setting the example here.
Let's talk about stuff we know a lot about. How about
Yeah,
that, guys?
yeah.
Let's give
Yeah.
advice on things we
What about
can't do.
well liquor? You guys I should have talked about that instead. Yeah, you guys got thoughts on Old Crow? Yeah.
The medicine show.
Yeah.
No, balance. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you? Okay, so if you guys are bad at balance, when do you notice you're bad at balance?
When I want to kill myself, usually.
That's
yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
no.
surreal.
Yeah, I can like push it for like a long time before you really notice that it's a problem.
Yeah. So the point of exhaustion.
Yeah, absolutely. I had I got like it was during like the summer. I moved. I had used to be like I used to live downtown, and my wife and I used to both work downtown, and so it was like I just walked to work, and we shared one car, and then we moved, and I got a different job, and like now we're both like farther from work, and I ended up for like the whole summer I would drive myself to work. I started at like 7 a.m. I go to work, and then I pick her up from work at like 6:30 p.m. and then we get home at like 7, and then immediately have to go do comedy.
Yeah.
And this was also like during PFP season, and and I made it to the finals or whatever. And so,
Congratulations.
thank you. And I was just like during that time, like once I made the finals, like I got booked on like 100 things, like really like immediately,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And so it was like every single day I would be like awake and like locked in from like 6:30 in the morning
Yeah.
until like midnight. And that was like June, July, August, September. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Yeah,
Like I cannot
yeah.
do it anymore. And it was like every single day too. And so, yeah, I realized like, God, just there's no balance at all going on.
Yeah.
I still do the same thing. I mean, did I learn any lessons? Yeah, conceptually, but did I put them into practice? No, I just bought a second car. So I'm like, oh, this will solve all my problems. Now
Hustle
I can
enough that you can buy a second car. That's the trick here.
Exactly. Yeah. Buy yourself a used 2013 Toyota Prius, everybody. That's gonna solve all your woes.
That's
and
what
all
we're
your
here. We're
issues.
here
You
to
might
solve
want to kill
woes.
yourself, but now you have a Prius to do it in.
Yeah, I can kill myself in a bright red car. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, I learned stuff conceptually, but did not put it into practice at all.
I mean,
you know?
that's easy to do. That's easy to do.
Yeah.
We feel like you're managing it better now.
Yeah, probably. I've thought about like I used to do so much comedy all the time, and then I hit a point where it's like there's got to be like diminishing returns. Like the
Sure.
more you do it, like whenever I first started, I was doing like 10 open mics a week every week.
I believe
for the
that.
first 2 years.
I remember seeing you out quite a bit.
Dude, everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place. And I feel like, earlier on I learned a lot, and then I was like trying to keep that pace. But then, start like getting booked on shows and stuff like that. And it's like, well, going to a show can take up a lot more of your time.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, because you have to hang out.
you
and
have
be
to hang
friendly
out.
and
Exactly. It's like now it's like a 2-hour experience.
Mhm.
When before
you can
I could do
pop in.
2-3 open
Yeah.
mics in 2 hours, basically. I mean, if you're lucky.
Mhm.
So I'm just recognizing that I'm like, there's diminishing returns. Like I've done it like
Yeah.
3-ish years.
I like that you bring up the diminishing returns, because I definitely I had to take a break with music recently because so I am either out, like when I'm out I'm doing comedy or I'm working, and if I'm not doing those things then I'm not fucking out of my house. So when I am at my house I'm spending it doing music, and I started having like these diminishing returns of just like I'm going to keep sitting down and I'm going to keep doing this because this is the thing that I need to do. You know? This is the best use of my time. You're not going out. You might as well make music. And I just started getting shit song after shit song kind of coming back. And it was, I've taken a break probably like this last week and really started working on like other projects that I'm like excited about them, and it's just like I'm coming back to music. When I come back to music, I'm excited about it. I think that's really like the nice part about balance is that you kind of get to, by doing something else, you get to build excitement for the other thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And to talk about like, I don't know, circle back to like the individualism, how it connects is like, like America, it's all about like productivity. Like what do you bring to the table as a person, but as a producer of things.
Mhm.
And whenever, I've like hit like the burnout point, I usually like I don't like ever sleep enough, and then I just like crash after a couple months. And I had a period where I was like, it was a Saturday, I didn't have any shows at all. And I woke up and I just didn't do a goddamn thing. Like I just sat on my couch and just like enjoyed a little brain rot time on my phone by myself. I'm watching like YouTube videos that are completely worthless. I'm like, oh, good. 16 hours of cave diving disaster videos. This rules.
Just watch Mojo for 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, I'm like, this is gonna pay off big time. And but then afterwards, and after a couple days of like just wasting away, I'm like, felt like way more, mentally acute, I guess. Like very sharp. Good ideas, excited to do things again versus like literally like I'm cracking the whip at myself usually. Like you gotta drag your sorry ass up and go to, Montevilla Station.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running in fifth gear 24/7, like shit's gonna get fucked up. You gotta like sit and park and turn the car off and just watch the top 50 poker scandals.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't fucking play poker. I don't
Me
give a
neither,
shit
dude. But I'm like, I'm
but
interested.
I need to know who cheated at Texas Hold'em.
This 37th time.
Yeah, exactly. I was different from number one. I need to know. I got to know what number one is. This is crazy.
Yeah, you think number one's crazy, but number 3 is where it's really at.
Yeah, that's when it starts getting heat.
Yeah.
Like just giving yourself that time to decompress. I feel like it's so overlooked, and I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like I make excuses for myself to decompress way more than I need to. Where
interesting.
I'm like, okay, well, I did this one thing, so I get this long break, and then that long break turns into like, well, then now I'm having fun doing this, so this is all I want to do for a little while. Like, all I've done for like the last 2 days is play Baldur's Gate. That's like all I've done, and like I'm having a blast. But that's what I was gonna do tonight. And then Jasmine and Zayd were like, hey, like let's go do some fucking shows and shit. And I was like, yes, I need to be socially interactive in a way that isn't like a fucking headset imprinting a dent onto my fucking skull. And like it feels good to like be reminded of that balance too, because I'm horrible at reminding myself of that balance. I just sink into like escapism. I'm really big accidentally on escapism, and having people that like pull me out of that is really important to me.
Yeah.
I feel like I was really bad at it when I was younger. Like I didn't start doing comedy till later, but I just in general was always out doing stuff when I was younger, and I didn't have like as far as balance between like, I feel like we're talking about like individual versus collective kind of in the balance thing, or just like socializing versus downtime. I feel like I had no idea how to have a balance before, and I didn't really have like any balance. Like I got all my, I don't know, energy from like being out and doing stuff. And now I feel like I'm like the opposite. Like I'm almost to the point where it's like, it feels like back then it was extreme in the other direction. And now I feel like I'm struggling in the opposite direction where I'm like, I just want to be home all the time. I also have like a job that's like very draining. Like I talk to people and I make active, like I'm
Very
actively
emotionally
listening
intensive.
all day long and like caring and being thoughtful. And then, my dad's been sick. And so like the family's been going through a lot. And so between those two things, it's been really hard to find the balance to do comedy. And like, if I get booked, that's cool. But then if you don't go out to open mics as much, you don't get booked as much. So I keep having these like 2 months where I'll be booked like pretty regularly. And then I'll have like 2 months where I'm not. And I try to be like, you know what? I need the balance because of everything that's going on in my life. But then I start to beat myself up if I'm like not doing any shows, and then I'm like, gonna go to my anyway. So I really struggle with the balance. But I think for me, what it is like now I'm on like the other end of it where I'm like got really good at being alone. And now I need to like not be alone so much. Well, like also though, like I think it also when you're older, like it just takes you longer to decompress. Like I think before I didn't have as much like limits on my social battery. I would just kind of like go and then whatever. And now I'm like, I'll feel like shit if I go too much. Like it takes me longer to recover from stuff, I think. So I think it's like balance is, I have to figure out how to find more balance now that I'm older. So that's been an interesting journey.
Yeah, one of the backup topics I wrote about was youth because I thought that would be interesting. Like I said, I'm a child and you're all adults.
I'm your teen mom.
I'm 29. Let's not get
29.
Old
piece of shit
haven't
right
hit
here.
the 30 mark, and I'm clinging on to that.
Nah, bro, I heard your bones creak when you sat down. It's over for you.
I felt my bones creak when I sat down. I got 2 kids, so that has aged me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Asian dog years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thankfully, no kids. God. Not even religious, but it's God bless.
It's not
you're
for everybody.
married. How old were you when you got married?
Too young, dude. They'll let you do it at any age in Florida.
I feel like there's a lot of comics that are like in their 20s and they're married, and I'm like, God, nobody I knew was married back then.
No, and I think like it's because comics are all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like
You're
we're
I
all.
need my own family to fix my family problems.
No, I hope not. No, she's just cool. I guess.
Why would that be? Why would being
That's a
being
good
married
answer,
make it-
honestly.
Why would being married be more likely for fucked up people though?
No. I mean, like you, like most people I know are not. The only people I know like my age that are married are other comics,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just like people who are like. I don't know, like comedy attracts people who are like fucking weirdos,
Yeah, well, that's
like,
true, yeah.
no offense to all three of us, but like,
one day too.
if you're completely normal, well-adjusted, you're not doing stand-up comedy.
No.
There's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you trying to communicate, and what would make you want to communicate it?
Yeah, if you're completely normal, you probably don't have an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
that-
Sometimes I'll just judge someone by the way they look, and I'm like, I'm not interested. That's fucked up. But I'll just be like, I can't imagine that they've been through anything that I'm gonna think
No,
is that
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm wrong, but sometimes you think that you're like,
Yeah.
has this person actually?
But a
been
lot of
through
times you're
anything?
probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an interesting like graph of like the more well-adjusted people become, the less funny they get. I've definitely seen like comedians that when they were like at their worst, I was like, this is the funniest person on the fucking planet.
Or
Oh,
usually
absolutely.
you find out that like during that time was like when they were the most funny was like the most fucked up time in their life.
Yeah, they were like on the brink of fucking death because they didn't eat, only like drank alcohol to survive. They haven't had a glass of water in fucking 50 years, and then they're like, yeah, I'm like I'm a vegan now. I always have a water bottle, and I'm like, that's why you're not funny anymore. That
I
makes
first
so
started-
much sense.
When I first started, I felt like there were like a lot of girls whose dads were dead, and that was like their jokes about it. So I've been thinking about a joke, like when my dad passes, I'm like, can I find now? Maybe I'll finally ascend
Jesus Christ.
to the like super funny
It'll
girl
unlock
comedian.
something in you.
Come on, Dad, I need a book.
I gotta start drinking like Pabst Blue Ribbon or something else to make me cool. I don't know. I just feel like there was these girls where I was like, oh, okay, dead dad. That's like a thing. I've noticed.
No, you're totally right. Yeah, there was a lot of
I'm
dead
dark.
dad comics. Yeah,
My dad's
Oh,
dead.
you're right. There was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want my dad to die, but I will be funnier when it happens.
The optimism in this room is
Yeah.
overwhelming.
It's like a fucking like a Naruto Sharingan. That might be way too nerdy to
Like,
drop in
no.
here.
but you caught
My
that it
dad
was.
said, and it made me weird.
All right. Well, I think the perfect balance is calling it right about here.
You think so? Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so because we're at our 28-minute
I can
mark.
make it weirder if you'd like.
We could. We have 1 minute.
You start talking about pee again.
Hey,
Oh my
nobody
God.
talked about pee. That never happened. You're weird.
You're right, that was last week.
Yeah, balance. By balance, I meant like squatting over the drain to have
Yeah.
to piss
Physical
out there.
balance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zachary Clark,
Thank you for having
so
me.
much for joining us. I really
Yeah.
did have a blast.
Happy to do it.
having
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
Zach.
you guys.
you. Yeah, thank you. Well, that has been the Smoke Break. I've been your host, your old pal Zane, here with Taylor Barrett,
When your dad dies, you get a Sharingan.
Zoe Schwartz,
I'm the teen mom.
and Zachary Clark.
Zoe's my mom.
Way to play us.